Good morning. This morning I want to talk to you guys about a very exciting method of fishing, lure fishing for predatory fish like carp and garrick and other species as well, by the means of throwing paddle tails. What is a paddle tail? It's a plastic lure with a jig head hook fixed inside that mimics the swimming action of a bait fish. So what happens? You throw this into the water as far as you can, pull it back, and this little tail will wiggle like that, and the vibrations giving off in the water will be picked up by a carp and a garrick lateral line. They're very sensitive for vibrations, and they will pick it up and they'll hone in onto your paddle tail and hopefully eat it. Very exciting method of fishing. I am very lucky to be fishing in the Transkei coast in the Mazeppa area very frequently, and there one of my favorite methods is fishing for carp and garrick with paddle tails. Currently on the market we are very blessed with quite a big variety of paddle tails that's available. Different shapes, different colors, and the colors as well has got different uses. You know, sometimes in the night time a darker color works better, in the daytime a lighter color if the sun shines, if it's cloudy. So that's something you have to figure out, and the only way you can do it is by trial and test and try. And the jig heads itself also comes in various shapes, like this, like an arrowhead, and then you get these ones that's more like a bullet head. And what I want to show you this morning is how to put your jig head and your paddle tail together. Okay, so the first thing you do is select the paddle tail that you want to use and the jig head that you want to fix it to. Keep the paddle tail upright like this, that the tail is in the swimming action. Change it over like that. Take the jig head and measure the length of the hook onto the paddle tail, and when you get the length of the hook, make a little mark there so that you know where to bring the hook out. What's very important is to put the paddle tail in the middle. The hook must be absolutely in the middle for the balance and the swimming action of the paddle tail. So I go in there, I push it through the middle of the body. I look here where I've made my little mark, and I must make sure that I bring it out exactly in the middle of the body of the paddle tail, and then push it onto the hook. So your paddle tail will then be like this. It will be fixed onto the hook. The hook is nice and proud. It is exactly in the middle of the paddle tail for a nice swimming action. A tip I can give you guys is when a fish takes this, it can pull it off like this quite easily. So what I do, I pull it off like this, and then I take super glue and put 1 or 2 drops of super glue around here and push it tightly on there, hold it like that for a second or two, and then it's fixed there. You know, if little fish can come and bite and pull on the paddle tail, it will be fixed with super glue there, and it won't be able to pull it off. So this is the one method of rigging a paddle tail. Okay, here is some other colors that I've already fixed the paddle tail and the jig head together. And as you can see from the shape and from the action in the water of a paddle tail, for carp you must make your retrieve as slow as possible, and if you are fishing in a rocky area, this will get snagged and you will break it off. So what happens now? Taking some cues from the bass fishing with flukes and so on, the paddle tail industry has also came up with a system of a weedless paddle tail that looks like this, very similar to a fluke, and I use a bass hook with a little screw-in spiral here to fix this to the hook. And on here I put a piece of nylon with a gummy stop, my weight, and a gummy stop here. So to put together the weedless system, I use a bass hook with a screw lock. Take the paddle tail, screw it on here, make sure that you do it exactly in the middle. So again, like with the fixed jig head, that the action is exactly balanced and the paddle tail runs through. Once I've done that, you take the hook and again measure it, that it comes through right in the middle so that the hook is nice and straight and it doesn't compress or pull apart the paddle tail. So I've measured the bass hook to make sure when the hook comes out that everything will be nice and aligned and straight. So I pull the hook through. There you can see the hook is through the body of the paddle tail, and if you just slide the hook into the gap there, into the slit that is exactly made for that purpose, you will see that the hook is completely embedded and you cannot see the hook. And then the rest of the system looks like this. You can vary the weight here with the distance that you want to cast. If it's an area where you need some more distance, you can put a heavier weight there. But for me, always the crux is to fish as light as possible, because I believe that the heavier this weight is, it impedes the action of the paddle tail a little bit. So I try to keep this as light as possible. Now you can see everything is nice and aligned, and when you cast it, you won't get hooked up so easily. And when the cop comes and he takes it, he pushes it out, and the hook is nice and proud and can hook it, and you've got a cop on, and maybe you're in for a very nice fight. Okay, then there's also different shapes of jig heads on the market. This is an arrowhead, and what I found with this type of jig head, it improves your distance that you can cast. And then this is what they call a bullet, and this longish bullet also a bullet. And only one tip: when you want to fix a paddle tail to this shape of jig head, the arrowhead, you can see it's got a very much bigger flattened surface here. I take the paddle tail that I want to fix and I just nip it off a little bit here with a sharp scissor, so that the paddle tail also has got a nice flat surface here to adhere to the flat surface of the paddle tail there. Then I do exactly the same. I measure it. I measure here where I want this to come out. I make a little mark there. Very important again, it must go right through the center of the body, the middle of the body. Make very sure about that, because if it doesn't, your paddle tail won't swim nice and true. Bring it out there, push it over. And there you can see. Again, I will pull it a little bit back. I'll put some super glue there, pushes it tight, let it fix to the super glue, and a smaller fish won't pull it off. So there you can see again, your hook is nice and proud, and when a predatory fish comes and eats this, you know, a carp and a garrick is like a sucking feeder type of fish. Got a big mouth, you will follow the paddle tail and you will suck it in, and you'll take that and you'll take the whole paddle tail inside its mouth, and the hookup is normally very good. So what rod and reel do you need to fish with this exciting method of fishing? The crux of the matter is, when you do this, you're gonna cast and cast and cast for a whole morning, because it's not like one cast with bait and you stand and you wait for a little fish comes around and eat your bait. With this, you're constantly moving. You cast, retrieve, walk a little bit to the left, cast, retrieve, shallower, deeper, try different colors and all of that. So what do you need? You need a very good quality light spinning rod, and you need a very good quality light reel, spinning reel. And depending on where you fish, what the conditions are, you can fish with braid between 20 up to 40 pound breaking strain. If you fish in an area like when we were up there in the Kunene, where you may be lucky and pick up a 20 or a 25 kilo carp, you know, you can fish with 30 pound braid. But if you fish in an area where your main target species are smaller carp, under 10 kilos, you can definitely use 20 pound braid. That will be sufficient. Put a nylon leader in the front, maybe about 1.5 meters long, tie it with an FG knot, and when you cast, the knot must be outside of the eyes of the reel, so only the braid is on the reel, and by that way you won't get any snags and you can cast quite far. And yeah, The main thing of paddle tail fishing is just perseverance. You've got to cast and cast and cast and cast. You know, I can recall so many instances where I've been casting for an hour and then I get a bite and I land a cop. And then maybe you're lucky and 2-3 casts later you get another one, but not normally. You know, normally it's just going on and on and on and on and trying. But let me tell you, you know, that sensation when you bring in the paddle tail, you can feel the action of the paddle tail and you just get that hit, you know, and it feels like you're getting stuck for a moment, and then that rock you thought you were stuck to start swimming off at a high speed. It's just exhilarating, and it's a fantastic method of fishing that I can really encourage you all to give a go.